Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just finished watching, okay. Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 9. I just finished the episode and it was really, really good. I feel like I say that with every episode, but this one was especially good. I like how they introduce, the problem, like the consequence and the solution all in the same episode. I like episodes that kind of like have a beginning, middle, and end. And this one definitely felt like one of those. I feel like these videos are going to start getting shorter because I feel like there's less and less that I have to say. I do want to point out Jesse and his girlfriend this episode. So things are heating up between the two of them. They seem to really like each other. I don't know what she sees in him visually. He has a heart of gold. It seems like he really does have a heart of gold. Jesse's girlfriend is like, hey, let's go to Santa Fe. Let's go to a museum. Let's do some normal, like, adult, let's go on a date. Let's just go on a date. And Jesse's like, what? Okay, like, fuck it. Why not? Walt's selfish ass, and I say selfish in a very weird meaning because on one hand, he's selfish. He's doing these things for his pride and ego. On another hand, he's selfless and he's doing these things to, yes, it's for his pride. Yes, it's for his ego, but it's also for his family when he's gone. So it is some definition of selfish, and he selfishly drags Jesse into it. Oh, you had plans today? Well, let me lie real quick. Let me manipulate you. That's what happened this episode. Walt manipulated Jesse. He said, hey, the methylamine or whatever it's called is gonna go bad if we don't cook today. Which ultimately throws the characters into their fucking consequence situation, the problem. They get stuck in the fucking RV. Now, is it Jesse's fault for leaving the key in the ignition? Yes, but whose fault is it that they're out there? It's Walt's. But that was a really stupid thing to do. But mind you, I've done something comparable. Like, there has been times where I've been like, okay, I still want my AC on and I still want to listen to music. So I'll turn my key so that stuff is still on and it like destroys your battery, from what I heard. I don't know anything about cars. I'm just somebody who makes videos sometimes on YouTube. Like, I don't know anything about cars, but I like to keep my radio on and my air on, but turn off the gas. And somebody told me that that's really, really bad for your battery. So I feel like it's very easy to be in a Jesse situation. Like, that's an easy miscalculation to make. Not only that, but the thing with the lawnmower or whatever they were trying to use to jump the RV with, Jesse's dumbass was pouring the gasoline inside of the device and into the, gas can. So he is, he did have a couple fuck ups. He really did. I literally feel like fucking Walt right now. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what the fuck I have. I work with kids a lot, so I feel like kids really do just be out here getting people sick. I'm sick as fuck right now, and the only symptom I have is a terrible fucking cough. Shit, maybe I should get my ass up in the hospital. Actually, I literally coughed up blood as well. Wait a minute. The way I'm a little scared right now. I coughed up blood the other day. I was having a coughing fit and then mucus and blood came up and I was like, and it was pretty concentrated. Like, I'm not lying. Anyways, my favorite part of this episode was when Jesse whispered to himself while they were trapped and stranded in the RV. When Jesse whispered to himself, I should have just gone to Santa Fe. And then he was kind of rethinking his decisions. Will there be some point in the story? Obviously, Jesse has a lot of lip. Fuck you, man. Hold on to this. Get fucked. Okay, bitch. He has all of this lip, but at the end of the day, he always does what Walt wants. And another thing I want to point out is the fact that Jesse still calls Walter Mr. White. And I feel like that's intentional to show that there is a fucking power dynamic. So that's why Jesse, even though he's like, yeah, fuck you, or I don't have to do what you say, bitch. I don't have to, when Walt was grilling him, what are you doing? I've been calling you. Like, Jesse's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I have a life. Like, and you've been calling, and I've been living life, period. But I feel like him calling Walt Mr. White just go, it's like, it's storytelling without it's showing instead of telling. Now, the script can come out and say, hey, Jesse's being manipulated and there's a power dynamic here. Like, Jesse could call his girlfriend and be like, I think I'm being manipulated and I feel like it's because there's a power dynamic because Mr. Walt used to be my teacher, someone I had to like follow his directions. And so now that I'm an adult and he's still like a teacher and stuff and he's still older than me and we do have this pre-established relationship, I still feel compelled to do the things he asks me. Yeah, they could do some on the nose shit like that, but I feel like they don't do that and they don't have to because of the simple fact that Jesse still calls Walt Mr. White. And I feel like maybe I brought that up in another video, but I just think it's sad. Like, Jesse's going out sad, and I really liked that moment for him when he was just like, why am I here? You know, I should have just gone to Santa Fe. I should be doing real, like, productive member of society type things. Going to a museum with my girlfriend. That's where I should be right now. But instead, I'm here, dying in an RV because someone wanted me to pick up a beaker and a flask and make meth for 4 days straight. So I may be right and I may be wrong. Okay, listen to this theory I have. We see Walt's PT, CT, PET, and CT scan. We see his scans, and Marie prefaces the scene by saying, sometimes the technician knows more than the doctor. So I feel like going into that scene, we're primed to be like, okay, we're going to be able to tell that's, you know, whether Walt is okay or not by what we see in these PT scans or PET scans. We see the scans, we see this big splotch in his lungs. In that moment, we're the technician. We're like, oh fuck, he's fucked. He's gonna die. And that's exactly how he feels too. He's like, damn, I saw it. Not looking too good. Like, I'm dead. I'm out of here. And even Jesse's like, damn, bro, the methylamine isn't going bad. You're gonna fucking kick it soon. I know you are. And Walt's like, well, facts. So in that moment, I feel like they kind of made us the technician where we're like, that, like, basically saying that Marie's on bullshit. Or it could be foreshadowing, because we all know Walt still is going to be suffering with cancer after this. He may be 80% in remission, but it's going to get worse. We know it is. I feel like, yeah, right? I feel like he does end up dying of cancer at the end of this show. I don't know, but I feel like he does end up dying of cancer. So maybe Marie was right and the doctor is wrong. And it's not just, oh, there's bleeding in your, you know, there's an infection because of this or blah, blah, whatever. Maybe that is just the fucking tumor and he's still gonna fucking kick it. I don't know. It could go either way. Another scene I really liked was the scene where Skylar and Waltz were kissing when he was going to the airport to see his mother. I liked how awkward it was. I like how they're trying to, like, you know, they realize that the illness kind of put a strain in their relationship. But regardless of that, they still care for each other. And so they wanted to kiss. And even though it was awkward and they didn't really know how to approach it, they still did that. And I thought that was a good moment. I also liked how Skylar was like, okay, yeah, it could be bad, but it could be good. So why don't you prepare for that? And that leads us to the last scene of the episode. Walt goes fucking crazy on this paper towel holder. And so let's speculate as to why he did that. Walt thought he was going to die in weeks. He thought he had weeks left to live. And so finding out all of a sudden, nope, you're not dying, you're gonna live. It kind of goes back to that conversation he had with Hank. Once I found out I had cancer and that my days are numbered, I stopped being afraid. And like, we saw in the beginning, like, somebody talked some shit about his son, he beat the fuck out of them, right? We saw how much his diagnosis changed him and kind of rewired his personality, like doing things he never thought he'd be able to do, standing up for himself, standing up for his son, just stuff like that, like becoming a new and better Walt. And maybe he beat the thing up because he thought that was only possible through his cancer. Like, without his illness, first of all, what excuse does he have to make meth anymore? Something that it seems like he fucking enjoys doing. He enjoys the power it gives him, right? He enjoys being the baddest on the block, right? So without cancer, he has no more excuses. So he either has to stop cooking or come to terms with the fact, hey, I might be a fucking morally compromised person. I might be a fucking bad person. I enjoy cooking meth. He has to come to terms with that fact if he doesn't stop cooking meth. And we know he's not going to. And so all of that is probably going through his head right at that moment. And it was a touching scene to see how happy his family was. That was really beautiful. And I felt that through the screen. But that moment kind of was so much for Walt. He was like, well, fuck. Like, where do I go from here then? I can't just he can't, what's the word? Once you open Pandora's box, how do you just go back to normal life? Pretty much, right? Once you discover this side of yourself, this thing that you're good at, this thing that makes you feel good, this thing that empowers you, how do you go back to kind of normalcy after that? It's almost like being given superpowers and then having them taken away from you. How do you take out garbage the same way, without your super speed? Let's say you woke up one day with super speed. You woke up with super speed. You don't need your car anymore, right? And let's just say your car always made an annoying sound, so you hated using the car. Let's say, gas is really expensive, so you hated using the car. All of this stuff. And then, so once you get your powers, you no longer need the car. You don't have to hear the noise, and you don't have to spend gas money. So you're running to the store, and you're back in 1 second. You have all the groceries. Your wife didn't even know you left, right? Put all the groceries away. You zip through the house to clean it up real quick. And then you wake up the next day, and they tell you, oh, your powers have been reduced by 80%. Pretty soon you won't have any powers at all. At your super speed, you're a lot slower. You're only 20% faster than you were now. When you were 100% faster, you're only 20% faster. How do you go back to getting in the car, hearing that noise, and spending gas money again after that? That analogy was probably really bad, but what I'm just basically trying to say, how do you go back to your normal life after finding a cheat code, pretty much? Because selling meth isn't easy, but making it for Walt is easier than other things. And it makes him a lot more money than his day job. And then lastly, I just want to say it was really fucking hilarious when Jesse was like, why don't we make a dune buggy? Or take everything off the RV and make a rocket, or rocket fuel. Why don't we just turn the RV into something else? You're smart, right? Why don't you use science? You made poison out of beans. That shit had me dying. I was like, oh my God. And I knew Walt was gonna find something. But what would have been amazing is if Jesse got them out of that situation. That would have been amazing. Technically, it was an assist, because had he not said battery, Walt wouldn't have thought of that. Walt had given up. He was laying down. He was like, that's it. And that just goes back to what I was saying before. Walt is operating as if they're both going to die anyway. Jesse has a whole life ahead of him. And that's something he doesn't care about. Walt, he doesn't think about that shit. That, okay, you're doing all this risky shit. Good for you. You know, you're gonna die anyway. Good for you. What about Jesse? He has his whole life ahead of him. And you're treating it like both of you guys are gonna die any day now. Like, it's not cool, bro. Anyways, that is it for this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Come back next, whatever, for the next one. I have been posting every single day lately. So, all right, bye.